going to throw a single punch and steamroll 5 people at one time. But nobody has actually gone in depth with this matchup, so today we're going to just do that. Going over the full potential of Homo sapiens versus the gentle giant of the jungle, the gorilla. Before we actually get into it though, let's lay out some terms so you understand how this will go. The humans will all be at their prime in terms of age, as obviously a 105-year-olds versus one silverback gorilla will be a massacre, but to be as fair as possible, we won't say every human present is at their physical prime, as a peak human is quite literally a superhuman, as it would refer to a hypothetical human that is the best at everything in a physical sense. Whether it be running, fighting, swimming, or etc. Although he's a fictional character, Batman is considered to be a peak physical human in his verse, yet he has shown quasi-superhuman levels of strength and durability, somehow surviving a fall from space and walking it off as if nothing happened. So the humans will be at their prime age, which should be 25 to 30, but they'll still be of average strength. They're not going to have C-bomb levels of strength, and while it may seem like I'm nerfing humans, I disagree.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why don't you own these big apartment buildings?
Shut up.
I disagree, as you'll find out in this video. No, the humans will not be taking turns fighting the gorilla like people have said, which misconstrues the debate. The point of 100 men versus gorilla is to see if sheer numbers can surpass an animal with absurd levels of strength. Simply put, it's essentially...
I think if we were to go in waves, right? 100, right? Let's just say waves of 10 people at a time. I think we'll lose. I don't think it's going to get tired. Now, all at once, I don't even think. Because how can you get a hit in? You just going to hit somebody.
Essentially going to look like Madara versus the Shinobi Alliance, and the gorilla killing them all. I'm joking. The 100 humans and the silverback gorilla will be bloodlusted. This rules out the possible verdict of the fear factor.
Nah, this is the thing though. Why not just say, let's say you're the leader. Like, all right, boys, you already know this is war on the line. I don't know if y'all told y'all family this. Call y'all wives. Tell them that you're not going to make it. All right? This is Sparta. Or whatever they about to say. Like, y'all know the drill. Humans over gorilla. Humans over gorilla on 3. 1, 2, 3. Then about to do that. Then, you just see the first person just run. They got a bit of motivation. Then the gorilla just doing that. And then it got his fangs, the canines. Then you just seen it just bite him in the neck. And then everybody else is just scared. So I'm just
kicking in for humans and causing them to flee if a few of the humans lose their lives. The silverback gorilla will also be bloodlusted because 9 times out of 10, a silverback gorilla isn't going to turn into a total smoke demon and leap into battle like Conquest from Invincible to fire 100 humans. Gorillas are mostly docile and rarely pick fights with humans unless they feel threatened and are being disturbed or just generally in a bad mood. The win condition for the gorilla is to kill every human. Obviously, the win condition for the humans is to kill the gorilla. The battle will take place in a large grassy field. The location is a grassy field in order to be as fair as possible, as gorillas have actually shown the capacity to make tools to help forage. And obviously, humans can make tools out of sticks and stones, as we used to hunt large animals such as
so we
woolly
can use
mammoths.
the tools then.
There are also no time limits to this battle. It only ends when either side has died, and there will be no outside interference. The gorilla can't get help, and the 100 men can't call the police. Now that we've discussed the terms and conditions, we can actually get into the debate to see who would win. Let's start off with scaling a silverback gorilla. The silverback gorilla, or known by its scientific name Gorilla berenge, is the largest primate alive today. They are usually found in sub-Saharan Africa and can cover a wide range of elevations. Silverback gorillas are absolutely powerhouses and are estimated to be anywhere from 4 to 9 times stronger than the average human. This is because gorillas have dense muscle fibers and a robust skeletal structure, with their skull being so thick that it could even stop bullets, though this heavily depends on the angle in which the bullet is fired from, the actual type of bullet and the distance as well. In terms of pulling strength, gorillas are reported to have pulled over 1,800 pounds, but it's important to note that the strength of most gorillas are based off theory than actual tests with live gorillas, but it's still backed up by reputable science. With this strength, gorillas are capable of tearing humans limb from limb, as reported in an article dating back to
That's gonna
1910.
be the first person. Now, like, hey, if you want to get you want to get sent home early, just go ahead and volunteer.
Followed by the gorilla tearing off the man's head. A
And
silverback gorilla is also known to have a bite force of 1,300 psi or pounds per square inch, which is only 200 points away from a jaguar, who has a bite force so exceptionally powerful it used to pierce the skull of prey and directly bite through the brain, killing it instantly. Their bite force is so powerful due to their massive jaw muscles and skull structure, which is specifically designed to crush.
yeah, I mean, I love jaguars. Look, I got a. Actually, I don't even know what this is. I think this is a jaguar, right? Or is it a lion? No, y'all can't see. Is this a jaguar or a leopard? I don't know. But I think this is a leopard, though. But jaguars are scary. Yeah, I mean, like, scary. Like, they just scared of everything. And they ambush. So they're not going to physically. No, wait. No. Wait, no, they really not though, cause I've seen them take down those crocodiles. Oh yeah, but I mean like in the rainforest, they just be in the trees. Yeah, they just be in the trees. They just wait and they just bite bite you in the back of the head. Yeah, that's it.
Crush and chew tough vegetation, bark, and stems. Though obviously, this bite force can have devastating effects if used in a fight against rival gorillas or humans. The strength of a silverback gorilla is not to be underestimated, as they have the capacity to bend the iron bars of cages to escape or uproot banana trees with their bare hands. The reason as to why silverback gorillas are so powerful is due to having a high portion of fast twitch muscle fibers, which is the cause for their explosive strength, and obviously having more dense muscles than humans. Gorillas are also far more active than humans, spending a majority of the day climbing, walking, pulling branches,
Where's the
and
mouse?
obviously fighting so they can maintain strength without structured workouts. The key thing to note here is that gorillas aren't built for long periods of exerting their strength, but whenever they go on a rampage or a battle, it doesn't usually last too long. Their arms and muscles are more built for lifting, climbing, and pulling, all of which are crucial to their survival. They're able to continuously perform these tasks thanks to low body fat and
Step into Wix Studio and handle every part of your build from one platform.
and more efficient muscle usage, storing energy for functional strength rather than endurance. Despite the fact that gorillas are giants, they're actually somewhat fast, and in short bursts their max speed has been calculated to be 25 kilometers per hour, so good luck outrunning this thing if it's charging at you. Another thing to note about gorillas is that they aren't as intelligent as people perceive them to be. While they are creative when it comes to creating tools to forage, in terms of battle IQ, they are inferior to humans. They don't use complex strategies when it comes to fighting, and mainly just rely on overwhelming their opponent with superior strength, grappling, and biting, which is usually a decisive way to win the battle when you're bigger than 99% of other creatures in your habitat. For that reason, they don't punch with precision and aim like boxers, which is what a lot of people seem to believe. This isn't to say that a gorilla isn't just physically incapable of punching, as they are quite capable, but it's not nearly as powerful as it would be if a gorilla knew how to use the proper technique. However, when gorillas do punch, it obviously hurts like hell, as a single blow from a silverback gorilla exceeds 1,000 pounds of force. In 2015, a silverback that was drunk off eating bamboo stems, which ferments in their stomach and causes them to be intoxicated, threw a punch at a Rwandan cameraman that got too close. Courtier recalls that upon contact, he felt all the power and weight of the gorilla on his body, and although he wasn't seriously injured, was left with a scar on his forehead. Courtier described the punch as being akin to being hit by a train, so take that as you will. Roll a gorilla would scale from anywhere to street level or wall level, but the wall in question is very iffy. If a gorilla needed to break through a thin wall or some type of glass,
That's
it could
what it's
smash
going to
through
do
with
right
little
here.
to no difficulty.
Drag you.
But if we're talking about a wall made with strong materials
Just
such as
like that.
concrete, it's going to be much more difficult and depends on how motivated the gorilla is to escape or gain food. So wall level would honestly be a high ball, but honestly it doesn't matter since I've already discussed how incredibly strong gorillas are. With that out of the way, let's talk about how strong a human is, followed by how the matchup would go. Humans or Homo sapiens are the most dominant
Listen, we are great creatures, right? I just don't. It. I think it's a 60-40. I think we win. Because think about it. 10 people surrounded, right? Boom. It's going, what it's going to do. It's going to walk on his hands backwards like this. It just look confused. Like this. Just like that. Just keep doing it, right? until somebody just run up on it. But I think this is the key. Boom. If you throw dirt in his eye, right? Boom. He can't see. It's gonna make this noise, just like that, and then somebody gonna have to risk their life, try to jump on his back, hold him in the choke, like that. Even though he just gonna grab you like this and just like that. I mean, somebody gonna have to do it, but I think we win though. But he talking about the average human. Yeah, we lost. That's why I said 60-40 though. We have a 40% chance, but we still lose. That makes sense because I mean, like that. He talking about oh wait, no, he didn't even say average. He said prime. Okay.
species on the planet.
All right.
And for good reason. There are 8 billion of them on the planet, all of which have unique traits and features about them, but how strong is the average human exactly? In terms of lifting strength, the average human could bench press less than 135 pounds or 66 kg.
Yeah, I'm not that. I can bench more than that. 135. I think that. Hold on. This 30. Wait. 130. Wait. Hold on. Wait. 135. I think that's 45 on each side. That's normal though. Y'all should be able to bench 45 on each side. Okay. Deadlift 180. Yeah, I'm not. I can do all this. That's easy.
Deadlift less than 185 pounds, and overall lift an object ranging from 40 to 50 pounds. It's clear that the average human is nowhere near as powerful as a silverback gorilla, as they are at least 4 to 9 times weaker. However, this is one-on-one. To physically overpower a gorilla, you would need anywhere from 40 to 50 average humans to do so. 5 could maybe slow the speed in which a gorilla's arm is flung about, but risk getting thrown or crushed. 20 to 30 could likely restrain and grapple a gorilla's limbs, but when you put 40 to 50 humans in the equation,
I'm just gonna have to do this. I'm like, guys, listen, remember the rehearsal. I'm gonna be the coach in the background, right? I'm just gonna be like, hey, Chris, remember the drill. Hold him. Well, while I'm just seeing everybody just slowly get slaughtered. I'm like, okay, Taylor, what are you doing? Get behind him. Who else? Well, what's another name? Jack. Stand in front of him like we rehearse. I'm just gonna be like that. I'm just gonna be the coach and be the leader, the coordinator. Okay, I'm gonna be like, okay, all 5 of y'all wrap your body around this arm, right? Then all 5 of y'all wrap your other body on this other arm. So now, even though it's still gonna do this to you, it's gonna do it slower. Then the other 2 jump on his back. Then we need one to get sacrificed right here, right? So stand right in front of him too.
the gorilla will be restricted after a chaotic struggle. In terms of speed, the average human can reach a top speed of 15 to 18 kilometers per hour, which is still inferior to a silverback speed. However, in terms of stamina, the average human would be superior to a silverback gorilla.
Yeah, we got the greatest stamina. That's good.
This is because a silverback gorilla isn't built for endurance, but more so explosive power with devastating effects. Humans also have superior energy efficiency for prolonged exertion, being able to sweat to regulate temperature during long activities in order to avoid overheating. Because a silverback gorilla has a much more denser muscle than a human, they rely more on anaerobic, non-oxygen energy, which depletes faster and leads to quicker fatigue. Even the most average human is capable of running a good distance, with better than average humans being capable of running marathons at 26 miles, whereas gorillas can sprint for only a few hundred meters at their max.
Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, one of the best Marvel
Can't
movies
see
of
the
all
mouse.
time,
All right,
has critics cheering.
I found it.
maximum speed before needing to rest. They are not designed for long distance endurance, but humans are. Durability is a no-brainer. A silverback gorilla's body is far more suited for immense strength and impact resistance than a human, whereas a
No,
human
you got to realize, right? With adrenaline, we are one of the strongest on the planet. Y'all got to realize this. Our brain is the only thing that's stopping us, right? We can lift up a car. We can't do it because it's like our brain, unless we in fight or flight mode. Like, let's just say, okay, your baby, I don't know how, your 2-year-old baby is stuck underneath the car. What you gonna do? You probably gonna lift it. I guarantee you, 10,000% of the time, you gonna lift the car. You gonna move it somehow. You're like, man or woman, you gonna lift it up. You gonna feel it later, but that's the thing about adrenaline, right? Yeah, that's our boost. Like, we can do anything. Like, we can bite our finger off, but our brain just stopping us because the pain sensors is like, okay, ow, that hurts, ow, ow, ow. Why am I doing this? Ow. So you're not even going to try to. But yeah, with adrenaline, yeah, we got a chance.
human
One
can
of my
fracture
best.
bones or even tear muscles under pressure. And if that same pressure were to be applied to a gorilla,
This how
they
our
would
nose
quite
look
literally blink.
underneath.
Gorillas also have a higher pain
Our
tolerance than
nose look
humans
just
due
like
to
this.
just being more biologically built to endure physical strength, capable of walking off bites from other gorillas and animals. There are, however, two advantages that humans have other than gorillas aside from endurance, that is, intelligence and hysterical strength. Intelligence is a no-brainer, as even the most average human is capable of strategy and planning, especially if you were to pick a select few humans
Yes, always remember, a fool with a plan is smarter than a genius. Come on. I made up that.
from
And
a
it's
group
true.
of 100, as logically some will be smarter than the others unless we just give every human the same IQ. But even then, a person of average IQ isn't dumb. Well, if you were to ask them how
Well,
100 humans could defeat a gorilla, they could come up with a few ways which could be
see, like, look, you
expanded
got these three.
upon.
First off, let's just. Oh, okay. See, okay. I was about to say, okay, let's just see if it's men and women. Okay, it's just men. Drewski, he got the weight, right? But he slaughtered him in his 40s. The receding, yeah, he don't have a chance either. I don't even know what he gonna do. So yeah, them
By
two
others
right
around
there is
them.
automatically
Humans
off.
also have something
So,
called battle IQ, which is basically how intelligent you are in a fight, such as specifically aiming for an opponent's weak point, doing things to conserve your energy, or striking a specific way to avoid injury. The average human will be far more strategic than a gorilla, whose main strategy consists of quite literally crashing out with explosive power. Which, in all honesty, is a dumb move, as all that flailing around
exactly
of
what's gonna
arms coupled
happen
with ground and
with
pound will
somebody.
lead to quick energy loss, and in turn, the gorilla will lose energy pretty quickly. Humans are also known to do something called persistence hunting, which is, as it suggests, consists of tiring out your prey until they collapse before finishing it off. Moving on to hysterical strength.
I mean, that's good because think about it, that's what our ancestors was doing anyway, right? But you got to realize we not our ancestors. We're way weaker. I'm not even gonna say we not smarter than them. I think we smarter than them, but not really. Actually, I don't know. But yeah, them, yeah, they lived the time. But we talking about right now, I don't know.
There are cases of humans who gain a temporary burst of incredible physical strength during extreme situations of fear, stress, or emergency. This phenomena typically occurs during moments of extreme emotion.
But y'all want me to read? All right, everybody say yes if you want me to read. All right. See, I got to read with enthusiasm too, because I know y'all. I still know y'all in school, and I know y'all don't know how to read. That's cool. All right, but here is where. Where's Sears? But here's where Zach Searski found that things get interesting. Somewhere in between the maximum strength and the absolute strength is a middle ground that appears when the body goes into competitive mode. The fight or flight response also appears when faced with the pressure of competing. Some research has even found that simply shouting encouragement towards competitors can even physically improve performance. Zasierski has measured some athletes reaching as high as 92% of their body's absolute strength during the most intense competitions. Wait, competition? Wait. No. That don't count. That's competitions. This explains why world records are often set at the Olympics. There is no venue that places more pressure. Wait, there is no venue that places more pressure on athletes. How was I? 1 out of 10. A 3. All right, you see, this
Emotional
round I'm
distress,
doing.
such as when
Now
a
you're in
person
trouble.
is in danger, witnessing a loved one in danger, or experiencing an overwhelming rush of adrenaline, or epinephrine, which is released in large amounts during these crucial moments. Adrenaline.
All right, I just read this. I'm not
This
going to hear
causes
you.
humans to
Like, I'm not even about to
energy,
hear you.
blood flow
I
to
just read
muscles, and
all.
during these crucial moments. Adrenaline boosts heart rate, blood flow to muscles, and mental focus, which provides a short-term burst of energy and physical strength, which is extremely advantageous to a human. This causes humans to quite literally surpass their physical limitations, such as deadlift a car off a trapped person or a cop lift.
Just said this. What did I just say? I literally just said this. And it's like now y'all think that I watched the video. No. I just said we can do this. It's like, okay, like our legs, right? Our muscles, our quads can like crush our bones. Like for real. Y'all don't know that though.
Lifting a 3,500 pound SUV off a woman to unpin her from a trapped car. However, the after effects of hysterical strength are often brutal, as it often leads to multiple broken bones, extreme muscle fatigue, or being physically
Exactly.
incapacitated for some time.
You're gonna die.
So
But
overall, humans scale to street level with intelligence varying from average to genius, though this scale can increase if hysterical strength comes into play. So who wins, 100 men or a silverback gorilla?
I don't know.
Well, this may come as a surprise to some or a no-brainer to others, but 100 men would win with high difficulty.
Okay.
And before the gorillas start commenting and hate that I chose the humans because I'm biased or something, to explain, the key to winning this battle is overwhelming the gorilla and tiring it out. If the humans are coordinated enough and focus on just solely overpowering the gorilla, they can force a W. However, at least 70% of men are going to die, with others walking off with serious injuries. The first wave of humans are getting slaughtered, but they would have done enough to tire out the gorilla, and from the second and definitely the third wave are going to exhaust the gorilla completely. When it comes to killing the gorilla with your bare hands, it would be tricky, but it's not impossible. Aiming for weak points like the eyes, throat, and airways are vital. With multiple people dogpiling the gorilla, this could lead to the gorilla suffocating and gradually growing weaker until it dies of asphyxiation, which is basically the term for a condition where the body is deprived of oxygen, leading to potentially life-threatening situations, so on. Crushing the trachea via elbow drops, forearm pressure,
Elbow
or even
drop.
biting is another way, but again, a lot of humans would need to overpower the gorilla to make it possible, or have it be already tired out. Forcing fingers through the nostrils would also be enough to suffocate it. You could also force the gorilla face down and aim for its spine and skull, but this would be tricky as the skull of a gorilla is extremely thick and would take a lot of pressure to cause severe brain trauma. The only way a gorilla would win if we change the conditions and make this matchup realistic instead of having both sides bloodlusted and out to kill each other. Realistically speaking, 5 or 10 men would charge forward and suffer brutal deaths, which would terrify the other men.
It's funny how he says the words brutal deaths. Like, oh yeah. I mean, y'all gonna get sent home though. But I'm just told y'all. Tell your family you love them. Just say you on vacation real quick. Then they're gonna say, "Oh yes, news flash. To the families of person A and person B, yes, yes, they was fighting a gorilla, and they somehow did not make it. Much condolences to all that was lost. Have a nice day." That's exactly how the news reporter gonna be, just like that.
would charge forward and suffer brutal deaths, which would terrify the other
Oh
men.
yeah, elephant. Yeah, we lose. You can't. I don't think there's nothing to do. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, we can turn around though. I don't think they can turn around quick, but it's literally nothing. They got tough skin. Yeah, elephant's one of my favorite animals. And they just gonna stop on you. You lost. You
And
can't.
either cause them to become less uncoordinated and panicky, or cause them to just retreat. Another way for the gorilla to win would be having the battle take place in the jungle, a terrain that the gorilla is familiar with, using it to its advantage, attacking and escaping and repeating this, or just straight up dropping down from trees.
Yeah,
Of course,
that's
if you give
exactly
all
what it's
100
gonna do.
men weapons such as knives or sharpened sticks, this would increase their chances of winning, but still a good portion of men are dying. Overall, 100 men would prevail in a battle against a single gorilla, but it's not as easy as you think. Humans are capable of taking down animals far bigger than themselves, especially Homo sapiens from ancient times, who were capable of taking down woolly mammoths with sticks and stones,
Yeah, I don't know how.
and are responsible for a vast majority of mammals who are many times larger than ourselves going extinct. However, the amount of bravery and mental fortitude you would need to willingly
Told y'all we're not supposed to. Those are learned behaviors. The only two things we supposed to be scared of is the dark and something else. See, this is bravery. See, they was born like this. They didn't even have no brain yet. They just like, oh yeah, this is food. This is just a bigger version of food. We about to get it, nigga. If you send 100 people versus a bear, they gonna be scared because it's a bear, and they know they're gonna die.
face off against something that can tear your head off from your own body is at another level, and most people aren't willing to do that. Overall, this situation depends on the environment, and if 100 men are actually bloodlusted, and that's like some cheat there. But anyways, thanks for watching.
Good video. I think we win. I just said it's like a 60-40. I mean, the hold on. Hold on. Like, the only way we win if it's somehow y'all get just throw dirt in this eye and then that's it. But like I said, it's 60-40 though. The video, man.